Gap coupled microstrip resonators. Resonators are not useful unless they are coupled to external circuitry. Practically, it depends on the type of resonators under consideration and application. In case of microstrip resonators, gap coupling is one of the most widely used coupling method between the resonators and the feed lines, as shown in these figures. Here, some microstrip line resonators are shown here. Here microstrip line, they are called as microstrip line resonators because microstrip transmission line is used to implement these resonators. Here this is a gap coupled microstrip line resonator, open circuited lambda by 2 line. That is here microstrip transmission line is used to implement this resonator with a open circuit and length is equal to lambda by 2, behaves like a resonator. So because here microstrip transmission line is used to implement this, and also here also this is also a microstrip line microstrip resonator, but the microstrip line is in the form of a ring. And similarly here also this is a microstrip structure, and also this is a resonator, but the shape of this resonator is split ring resonator. This is called as split ring resonator. So all these are microstrip resonators because microstrip transmission line is used to implement all these resonators. So in these resonators, microstrip transmission line resonators, gap coupling is one of the most widely used method to connect external circuitry to the resonators. So external source, that is the excitation source, must be connected to the resonators. So that method, that is a feed circuit should be connected to this. Our excitation source must be connected to the resonators. This is a resonator actually. In this case, gap coupled microstrip line resonator, this is actually the resonator. To this we should connect the external excitation source. So that external excitation source must be connected to that is external circuitry. See, like this is a feed line. Feed line is there. Using this feed line, external source is connected to the, or excitation source is connected to the resonator. Similarly here also, this is actually the resonator. Ring is the resonator here. To this we should connect a external excitation source. For that this feed line is used, and with some small gap between the resonator and the line. Here also this is a called microstrip line again, but from between feed line and the resonator there is a small gap. Using this part, that is feeding structure here, circuitry, source is connected to the resonator. See here also, this is actually the resonator. To this this is a feed line, and between that there is a gap is there between the feed line and the resonator. So in this, using this part, this is called as coupling circuit. Excitation source is connected to the resonator, and also output is taken through the same circuitry here. Feed line again, this is a line. Using this part of the one, it is a external circuitry. This is used to take the signals out of the resonator circuit. So this is called this type of coupling. In these three resonators, what is shown in the microstrip resonators, the structure for feeding is a similar kind. That is, there is a feed line is there, and that feed line is coupled to this resonator through a small gap here. Similarly here also, this is resonator and this is a feed line. In between that there is a small gap is there. So using like this part, that is a feed line and small gap, through this small gap energy is coupled to the resonator circuits. We cannot connect our excitation source directly to the to the circuitry like resonator circuits. So similar to the coupling capacitor used in like amplifiers and oscillators and such circuits. Usually coupling capacitor is used to connect the excitation source, a signal source, to the amplifier or oscillator. Similarly here also coupling capacitor this behaves like a capacitor. So between the feed line and the resonator there is a gap is there. This gap, it is between the two conductors. This is a conductor and this is a conductor. Between the two conductors there is a gap is there. So that behaves like a capacitor. In between the two conductors, the gap means here is a dielectric material in microstrip line. This is a substrate that is there. So it behaves like a coupling capacitor. So that is called as coupling capacitor. Through this gap, energy is coupled to this. That means through the coupling capacitor, energy is coupled to the resonator. So this type of coupling is widely used in microstrip resonators, in microstrip transmission line resonators. So this type of coupling, gap coupling method, usually affects the resonant frequency of the microstrip resonators. Without gap, with big, lambda by 2 lines are microstrip resonators without coupling. This coupling feeding structure has a resonant frequency, but because of this coupling capacitor and this feeding method, there is a change in the resonant frequency of the overall structure. So that we will see in the next topic. So here consider the effect of gap coupling on the resonant frequency of gap coupled open circuited lambda by 2 microstrip line resonator. We will now consider microstrip line lambda by 2 open circuited lambda by 2 microstrip line resonator, that is coupled using gap coupled method. Gap coupling is used to excite the resonators in this case. So this is a microstrip line lambda by 2 open circuited microstrip line resonator here, and to this excitation source is connected using this method. So this is a gap coupling, microstrip gap coupling, because my feed line is there. Through using this feed line, energy is coupled to the resonator. Actually SMA, through SMA connector we can connect the excitation source to this point. SMA connector will be, that is a coaxial probe may be connected to here. So that energy is transferred to this resonator through this gap here. So this is a gap coupled microstrip lambda by 2 open circuited resonator structure here. Now we will see how this feeding part coupling gap coupled method affects the resonant frequency of this structure. So this equivalent circuit of this is shown in this figure. This is the equivalent circuit of this structure. Here this lambda by this feeding, it is a microstrip line with a characteristic impedance is equal to Z0. So that is shown here. This is a microstrip feed line with a characteristic impedance is equal to Z0, and this gap between feed line and lambda by 2 resonator is modeled as a coupling capacitor, that is here CC here, coupling capacitor. And next, this is a lambda by 2 resonator. So that is a microstrip line, transmission line with a length is equal to lambda by 2, characteristic impedance is equal to Z0. So equivalent circuit of this, it is like this now. So we have to find out now this resonant frequency of this structure here. Resonant frequency of this we have to find. We know the resonant frequency of this structure lambda by 2 microstrip line open circuit without this feeding circuit. We already have a discussion on this structure, open circuited lambda by 2 resonator structure. See here the input impedance between the terminal 2 we have to consider now, because this coupling capacitor gets added with the equivalent circuit of this lambda by 2 line. As we were already discussed, equivalent circuit of this open circuited lambda by 2 line, it is similar to the parallel resonator circuit, parallel RLC circuit. But we should add this capacitor CC like this, because here is a gap adds the capacitor. So the overall input impedance we have to see between these two terminals. That is here we have to see between the terminal 2. So at the terminal 1, that is our open circuited lambda by 2 line. If we look into the terminal 1, that is uncoupled open circuited lambda by 2 resonator. the input impedance here, it is equal to minus j z naught cot beta L, because it is a open circuited transmission line. For open circuited transmission line, input impedance at the input terminals is given by minus j z naught cot beta L here. So now the input impedance between these two terminals, 2 dash, is given by addition of this impedance of this and impedance between these two terminal. So it is the impedance of this is 1 by j omega c, and the impedance between these two terminal is minus j z naught cot beta L. So the overall impedance is 1 by j omega c minus j z naught cot beta L. If you normalized impedance, this is assuming this is a normalized impedance Z, it is given by impedance divided by Z naught. So this is the impedance here, impedance between the terminal 2 dash. So the input impedance of this resonator is now this is the equation. Okay. In the uncoupled lambda by 2 resonator, the input impedance is just minus j z naught cot beta L. But here, because of coupling, through this gap coupling, capacitor is there that we should add to the input impedance. So overall input impedance now is given by this equation. If you simplify that, we will be getting 1 by z naught omega cc plus cot beta L. And if you take a minus j outside in this equation here, minus j, and the writing this 1 by cot 1 by tan beta L, you will be having this equation. Here BC can be written as z naught omega into cc. This is a susceptance of the coupling capacitor cc. So we can replace this as a BC. This is a susceptance of the coupling capacitor cc. You can write like this. So this is the equation. Now rewriting this, you will be having this equation 1. Now for this circuit, the input this is a resonator circuit. Now overall the input impedance of resonator is this. So now resonator is this part. Now we cannot only take this part. So overall input so resonator circuit is this part. So we are looking input impedance between the terminal 2 dash. So input impedance of now coupled resonator is given by this equation 1. So input impedance, as we saw, at the resonance, our resonance will occur when z is equal to 0. As we discussed in resonators, this resonance of the circuit. So this is our resonator circuit now. So the input impedance, whenever the input impedance reactance is equal to 0, we will be getting a resonance. So this is now our resonator circuit, and input impedance we have that is equal to this here in equation 1. So resonance occurs when the imaginary component of the impedance becomes 0. So this imaginary part of this must be equal to 0 at the resonance. So to imaginary part means this input impedance itself is the imaginary here. So this z is equal to 0 in equation 1 to get the resonance. Also at the resonance, this must be equal to 0. Then resonance will occur. So tan beta L plus BC must be equal to 0 to get the resonance. So for this circuit now, coupled circuit, this must be equal to tan beta L plus BC must be equal to 0 to get the resonance. In case of uncoupled resonator, only tan beta L must be equal to 0 to get the resonance. But in coupled line like this, because of this CC, to get a resonance, this numerator of this equation must be equal to 0. Reactance, this is a reactance here, that must be equal to 0. Then we will be getting the resonance. So at resonator frequency, this is the equation. An uncoupled lambda by 2 open circuited transmission line resonator look like a parallel RLC circuit near the resonance. So it is but the present case of capacitive coupled open circuited lambda by 2 resonator looks like a series RLC circuit near the resonance. as shown here. Actually, if you consider this is a open circuited lambda by 2 transmission line resonator. At the resonance, actually, if you consider only lambda by 2 open circuited without this feeding structure, then it is the JZ0 cart beta L that must be equal to 0. That is like a parallel, it behaves like a parallel resonator circuit. But because of addition of this coupling capacitor, this lambda by 2 coupled, but the present case the capacitive coupled open circuited lambda by 2 resonators looks like a series RLC circuit as from here. So this is tan beta L plus BC equal to 0. This is tan beta L. It is associated with the short circuited lambda by 2 transmission line, that is series equivalent circuit is series RLC circuit. So this open circuited lambda by 2 resonator looks like a series RLC circuit near the resonance. Even we have considered lambda by 2 open circuited transmission line because of a coupling capacitor here. Lambda by 2 open circuited transmission line along with the coupling capacitor behaves like a series RLC circuit instead of a parallel resonator circuit. So, uncoupled lambda by 2 open circuited transmission line behaves like a parallel RLC circuit. But the coupled lambda by 2 open circuited line with gap coupling behaves like a series RLC resonator circuit near the resonance, as in from this equation. This is because the series coupling capacitor has the effect of inverting the driving point impedance of the resonator. So like that it inverts the driving point, that is the input impedance. Now input impedance changes like this. Driving point input impedance changes. Because of that, the circuit, equivalent circuit looks like a series RLC circuit. So to get a resonance, this is a condition. Reactance must be equal to 0. So here it is not only tan beta L equal to 0, but to satisfy the resonant condition, tan beta L plus BC must be equal to 0. So here as shown here. So these are the characteristics of this transmission line when it is uncoupled. Unloaded resonator, if you consider unloaded resonator, this is the flat, that is the J tan beta L, as we for a series or short circuited lambda by 2 transmission line resonator. This is the flat here. This is the flat resonance point. This is the resonance point. Here the resonance occur whenever beta L is equal to pi or 2 pi or multiples of 2 pi, resonance will occur. This is one. For a uncoupled or unloaded, only see if you consider only the resonator circuit without coupling circuit, the resonance occur at these points. But because of coupling capacitor, it is not only tan beta L, we should add the value of BC. Because of this, to satisfy the resonant frequency now shifted to these points. The resonant frequency here now here. Instead of resonant frequency takes place at these positions. That is beta L is equal to 2 pi and pi for unloaded resonator. But loaded resonance, the resonance point is shifted like this, here like this. So this is below the unloaded resonator. So unloaded resonator resonates at here, that is beta L when is equal to pi. But for the loaded one, the frequency is associated with this position. That means frequency is shifted to lower value compared to the unloaded resonator. So the effect of this in practice BC is less than 1. So the first resonance frequency, for example, this is the first resonance here. For unloaded resonator, only J tan beta L, input impedance is J tan beta L. The resonance occurs when beta L is equal to pi. But for coupled resonator, that is loaded resonance, the resonant frequency shifted below the 1. See here, whenever beta L is equal to this value, the resonance occurs here. That means it is lower. The resonant frequency is shifted to lower value. So this is F1 for unloaded one. The resonant frequency for loaded one is shifted to below that value. So because of the addition of BC in the circuit. So the F1 will be close to the frequency for which beta L is equal to 5 for the unloaded resonator. Unloaded resonator circuit. The coupling of the coupling of the resonator to the feed line as the effect of lowering its resonant frequency. So like this, because of addition of a coupling capacitor, the resonant frequency is shifted to the lower value. So this is a line, a plot of a BC minus BC, that is equal to minus omega C Z naught. If you plot that, we will be getting this line here. The resonance occurs because of addition of this to this unloaded J tan beta L, addition of this and this. Because of that, the resonant frequency is shifted to lower value like this. So the coupling capacitor lowers the resonant frequency of the unloaded resonators, as shown in this figure. So now that is the effect on the resonant frequency of the resonators. This will happen for most of coupler, gap coupled resonator. The frequency will be shifted little bit to the lower side if you use a gap coupled resonators. Now we will see the driving point impedance. This driving point impedance, that is equation 1. So this is the equation 1, driving point impedance is related to the series RLC equivalent circuit, as we saw. Because of the addition of coupling capacitor, the equivalent circuit is like a series RLC circuit instead of a parallel RLC circuit. This can be accomplished by so this is input impedance, driving point impedance, input impedance. This is the input impedance between the terminal. The input impedance is given by this equation. So this, if this equation is expanded using Taylor series about the resonant frequency, if it is expanded, you will be having this equation with respect to omega 1, that is the first resonant frequency, fundamental frequency of operation. If we expand this equation, this one, you will be getting this using Taylor series expansion. This is the one, that is pi divided by q naught bc square plus j pi omega minus omega 1 divided by omega 1 bc square. That is assuming first resonant frequency omega 1. So we will be having this, expanding this using Taylor series. The input impedance is given by this for the first resonant frequency. So from this, the input impedance is from this equation, what we can observe, at a resonant frequency, omega is equal to omega 1. The resistance value is given by this value, that is Z naught R is equal to Z naught pi to Q naught B square. That is unnormalized. This is a normalized value of resistance. So the input impedance, driving point input impedance is given by this equation at a first resonant frequency. This is the resistance part of this input impedance. So this at resonance, the resistance value is given by this. This is a normalized resistance. So unnormalized, we have to multiply this by Z naught pi divided by 2q b square. This is like a R plus jx. So R is resistance value here for the input here, input impedance of the circuit. So this odd resonance, this behaves like a resistance. That resistance value is given by this value here. So what we needed in the resonators is this driving point impedance Z must be equal to characteristic impedance. So at the resonant frequency, if you want a maximum power transfer to this part of the circuit, this Z must be equal to this Z naught. So at the resonant frequency, we have Z is equal to this, that is R is equal to this. This must be equal to the characteristic impedance of the transmission line. So using this equation, we can simplify this BC is equal to pi divided by Q 2 Q naught. So this is the equation. BC is equal to this. So the as we know, the coupling coefficient for the resonator circuit coupling coefficient is calculated. That coupling coefficient is for Z0 divided by R. R, we got this R for this circuit. The R is given by this value. So substituting this R in this equation, you will be getting this equation. So this is a coupling coefficient for this gap coupled lambda by 2 open circuited transmission line. So this is a BC here, capacitor for critical coupling. For a critical coupling, BC, that is BC means it is a 1 over this Z0 omega Cc. You can carry coupling capacitor susceptance here, Z0 omega Cc. So that BC must be equal to this value. Coupling capacitor value we can find for critical coupling using this equation, and coupling capacitor we can find using this value. So this coupling coefficient says the level of coupling from the excitation source to the resonator. So these, if BC is calculated using this, if this BC is lesser than this value, then the resonator is said to be undercoupled. If it is greater than that, it is said to be overcoupled. So this is about a coupling capacitance effect on the resonator circuit. So for this, this is an open circuited lambda by 2 transmission line. We are using here a gap coupling to connect excitation source to the lambda by 2 transmission line. So like this is the equivalent circuit. So this coupling capacitor affects the resonant frequency, overall resonant frequency of this. So as we observed here, the resonant frequency is shifted to the lower value compared to the uncoupled resonators. Uncoupled resonant frequencies are here, but coupled resonators, the frequency is shifted to here and here. So this is a first frequency. So here the frequency is shifted to lower side compared to here. So resonant frequency is shifted to the lower side because of the coupling capacitor. And for critical coupling in the gap coupled method, that BC must be equal to this value. That is, coupling capacitor must give this value of BC to get a critical coupling, and R is equal to this. So we can calculate a coupling coefficient from this. So what is a coupling level of coupling we can calculate using this equation. Now here is a problem on the microstrip line resonators. So here the problem is, consider a 50 ohm microstrip open circuited lambda by 2 line resonator, and is gap coupled to a 50 ohm feed line as shown in figure here. The resonator has a length 2.175 centimeter. So the length of this resonator is given. This is a lambda by 2 line. Length of the line is given in the problem. An effective dielectric constant of 1.19. So because this is a microstrip structure, it has a effective permittivity that is given in the problem, that is equal to 1.9, and an attenuation of 0.01 dB per centimeter. So attenuation of this structure is given, that is equal to 0.01 dB per centimeter near its resonance. Compute the value of coupling capacitor required for critical coupling and the resulting resonant frequency. So we have to compute the coupling coefficient, coupling capacitor required for critical coupling. So this is because of this gap coupling, there is a coupling capacitor. This coupling capacitor should be equal to, as we discussed in the previous topic, it must be equal to then critical coupling will be there. So we have to calculate that for this given problem, and we have to find out the resonant frequency. So to do this problem, you can calculate the length of the line. It is the resonator have given length of the resonator is given. So we can calculate the resonant frequency because the length of the line is equal to lambda by 2, that is lambda g by 2. So lambda g by 2 we can expand. Lambda g is lambda divided by effective permittivity. So this lambda is c by f naught. So this length is given here, that is equal to 0.02175. So lambda g by 2 is this here, that lambda g by 2 is equal to L, that is equal to 0.02175. So from this we can get resonant frequency, that is equal to 5 gigahertz. So our resonant frequency, because of gap coupling here, actually shifted to a lower value. So it will be shifting to a lower frequency value. It should be lesser than 5 it may be lesser than 5 gigahertz. And we have to calculate next coupling capacitor here, coupling capacitor to get the critical coupling. So the above result does not include the effect of the coupling capacitor here. This does not include the coupling capacitor effect, but the effect, if you include the coupling capacitor effect, the resonant frequency becomes lesser than this 5 gigahertz. The loaded quality factor, the unloaded Q of this circuit is given by Q naught equal to beta divided by 2 alpha. Beta 2 alpha you can calculate, 2 pi by lambda g is the beta, 2 alpha is given, lambda g you can find here, we can substitute here lambda g. So by substituting all this parameter, we will be getting, it is equal to 628. Unloaded quality factor will be getting 628, because this lambda g can be, it is equal to L is equal to lambda g by 2. So we can substitute lambda g, it is equal to 2L, equal to 2L. So by substituting 2L, this is alpha and pi. So lambda g, it is 2L here. Substituting, we will be getting this. Simplifying this, we will get a 628 is the unloaded quality factor. So the normalized coupled capacitor CC susceptance is given by BC must be equal to, for critical coupling, BC is equal to pi by 2 Q naught. So 2 Q naught we have to substitute here and say it is 0.05. Now CC is given by using this, that is BC divided by omega into Z naught, because BC is equal to omega Z naught into CC. So using that we will be getting coupling capacitor. It should be equal to 0.032 picofarad. So this is a critical for getting a critical coupling capacitor must be equal to this value. Then maximum energy will be transferred to the resonator, and resonant frequency is less than this 5 gigahertz. Actually, to get the value, exact value of that, because due to this coupling effect, you should use a graphical method that is not shown in this solution.